So you've been taking Pilates classes for some time and you've absolutely fallen in love with the practice. Your instructor looks at you one day and says, "Hey, you have really good form. You should think about becoming a Pilates instructor." Surprised by this comment, you leave the studio and don't even think about it, just going on about the rest of your day. Except the thought keeps popping up in your head. Should I become a Pilates instructor? How much does it cost? Where do I even start? Kind of busy right now though. Is it even worth my time? That was me about a year and a half ago, and in this video, I'll answer some of those exact same questions I had and share my experience on my journey to becoming a certified Pilates instructor. Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. If you're new here, my name is Amira, and on this channel, we talk about mindful productivity for students and small actionable steps you can take to create more balance and find more meaning on your current journey. Before we get into the review of my teacher training experience, I just wanted to provide a little bit of background and explain kind of my reasoning and thought process for pursuing a certification. So in March 2020, I was graduating college. Well, kind of, because I didn't actually get to walk because the world was shutting down, but got my degree nonetheless. And I came home. It really gave me a lot of time to think and reflect. I was thinking like, I'm just gonna give myself grace, but you really didn't have the best time taking care of yourself, like self-care. So now being post-grad and in my gap years and after going through some health stuff, I really decided to take the time and really focus on myself and my well-being. And I just fell in love with Pilates as a form of self-care. In addition to taking care of myself though, I wanted to solve the money problem and I wanted more skill building experiences that I didn't necessarily get to hone in college being a student. So in short, I wanted a side hustle that I could basically still do while pursuing my career goals that would just help support me. The problem that I had though was figuring out which skills were worth building and like to what end. I was really racking my brain trying to figure out like what skills did I have outside of literally being a student and like how could I monetize that. And I actually came across this idea while reading Stephen Bartlett's Happy Sexy Millionaire, who talks about skill stacking, which he basically describes as combining multiple skills to create a unique and valuable set of abilities and then use that to market yourself and then differentiate yourself from others in your field. So I knew I just didn't want to take on a cookie cutter path in my career. I wanted more informative experiences and lessons that I could just take with me. As explained in the beginning of the video, I was quite surprised when my instructor basically urged me to consider teaching training, and after mulling it over, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I started researching different programs and basically settled on BASI, Body Arts and Science Institute, because I felt like they emphasized form and attention to detail, and they were just really particular, and I feel like coming from a science background that really appealed to me. So I definitely appreciated that approach to the Pilates practice for sure. This video is not sponsored. They don't even know I'm doing this video. They'll probably never see it. So all opinions are my own. I just literally just sat down and did research on the different programs, and then I picked one that basically just met my needs and I was more interested in, and I just landed on BASI, and I do not regret it at all. But you can of course just take this information provided in this video about this program and add that to your research that you're doing for yourself for when you choose your own program. So I enrolled in BASI and I completed the 500-hour comprehensive program. So that included mat, reformer, Cadillac, Wanda chair, spine corrector, and then BASI has its own system. It's called the F2 system, so we learned that as well. I attended 12 in-person modules, so they were split up into 4 months, then 1 weekend a month. So it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday each month, and then each day was about 6 to 7 hours. And then after the modules were done, I studied extensively, so 500 plus hours. It was 100 observation, which I went around observing different instructors in different classes. And then I did 200 of self-practice, basically just sat my booty in the studio going over the whole repertoire. I think it's about like 340 odd exercises or so. So I learned all of those. And then I also had to practice teaching, 200 hours of teaching on clients as well as an apprentice instructor. And then I also wrote a paper that focused teaching a specific client with a specific set of goals. So I just outlined the process that I would go through to create a session suitable for their needs. And then I did some more research on like muscle groups and anatomy, that kind of thing, compiled this all together in a paper and then sent it off for grading. It was pretty straightforward actually, especially coming from like college. Like I was doing papers all the time, so it really wasn't bad. It was about like 10 to 12 pages, so not bad at all. And then I also had to pass 2 online exams. So the comprehensive was split into the foundations program and then the graduate program. So you would do both of them if you wanted the full certificate. And at the end of the foundation, I took a written exam. You have to pass it with a 70% or above. And then the graduate program, I also did another written exam. And then at the end of everything, once I got all my hours, I submitted the paper, all that good stuff. I booked my little flight and I went over to the headquarters. They have a centralized testing location. This particular one is in Newport Beach. That's where they're located. So I went there. This was actually a couple weeks ago. I went to do my final practical exam and then my final teaching evaluation. So for the practical, they give you 4 exercises out of the 340 odd that you learned, and then you're asked to perform all of them perfect, like not perfect, but like by the book, basically. You know, the breath patterns, what to watch out for, like how to get into the moves, how to get out of the moves, etc. And then I also did the final teaching evaluation, which was a 60-minute session with a client, and we had to go and order what's called the Bassi block system. It's what we learned for 60 minutes. You can go a little bit under, a little bit over, but it's really supposed to be around that 60-minute mark. And then after that, we received feedback from the person watching us. And then we didn't really know if we passed that or they're not supposed to tell you. But then they post that about like 2 to 3 weeks later on the account. And I passed the first time and got my certificate. They also have a ton of resources as well. They have the study guides that you use when you go through the modules to follow along, and those help you with the written exams. And then you also have the movement analysis workbooks that are available for you once you sign up. They give you the information to access that. In the online portal that you have access to, they're actually videos, most of them with the founder of the Institute, Rael. So he provides the material for how to effectively do the exercises and how to effectively cue them for clients. So there's an abundance of material to help you study it, and they also have their own YouTube channel for extra help as well. And then there are also a few Bassi instructors that I think have YouTube channels as well. Very extensive, very thorough, provided so much information, and I really think it left me so prepared to guide clients through safe and effective sessions. So this experience honestly was amazing. I'm so glad I did it. It transformed me in so many ways, and I got to connect with a lot of people in the community. I've learned the importance of cultivating a practice that is grounding and lets you just be in the present moment, and it's also really good exercise. And I'm also learning more about how to build a business around that. So in addition to being an employee, I can just provide my services as an instructor as well. Especially nowadays has become like this trend, which is a whole other discussion in and of itself, but it's here nonetheless. So it provides instructors like me the opportunity to help provide good and safe sessions for those who are interested. So really short and sweet. If anyone has any questions, just leave a comment down below or just head over to my Instagram. My DMs are open. You can ask me more questions about my experience. And if you want to see my other video, I have a little mini vlog that just details me going over to Newport to take my exams for the certification. I will also link that video as well. I'll see you soon. Bye.